Get in, nerds. We are playing Burden of Command. We are really making. I would describe this as our final assault on Londe here. So let's get going. What do we got? We've got two unidentified squads. Well, three unidentified enemy squads that we need to destroy. I don't even know which direction these guys are facing. But I can sure do a lot of damage to them with Rouse Squad here. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. This is a flank attack. I could risk going in immediately. This sure looks good, but that's an awful risk. I think I suppressed them pretty well last turn, though. So I'm going for it. Is that right? Is that what I'm doing? Yeah, because we're hidden. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Get hit, idiot. Alright, beautiful. Anti-tank unit. Not at all worried about that. Okay, found some enemy units over here. That's useful. Now, I could take this squad up to here and try and take out this unit. I don't know what direction they're facing. So that's a risk. But I think I can make it happen. Okay, still not spotted. Beautiful, they're facing that way. And they're fully suppressed. Excellent. Hello. And I nailed an officer. Beautiful. That is very good. Uh-oh. I got shot at with... Sounds like it might have been a small arm from this truck here. Ooh. That looks like it might be an enemy captain. Now, how does an assault on this truck look? It looks quite good. I'm risking it because I'm not for sure on what's in these houses, but... So the other options, I go for this captain, and I think that might be the right call. So these units got 3 orders left. Yeah, I think I want to take this captain. Because that's going to make it impossible for the enemy to do almost anything. So he's successfully ambushed. Beautiful. And that should deal a ton of suppression to all the enemy units around here. Alright. Excellent. Excellent. We'll take this truck. Chance of taking it are very, very high.
Follow me!
And that truck is out of action. And then this... Yeah, that's just an officer. So we'll take him too. I'm getting a little greedy over here, and this might be the wrong call, but, you know, we're doing good work here. Now I've got one more action with this squad, which I could use to take this squad or this one. Can't reach that one, but I could reach that one. All these squads are pretty badly suppressed. So let's go to it. The only thing is I could run in with this squad and do it. Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to go in with this squad. And do I have the reach to get in there with Rao 2? I don't think so. Alright, so they are spotted. We're flanking, though. Hopefully the enemy doesn't... this is... I'm getting real greedy here. Okay, enemy officer here. Let's take him over here. Yeah! I'll admit, I'm getting very, very greedy in this situation. I shouldn't be leaving my squads in open terrain right here, but I'm doing it. This squad's fully suppressed, so I'm going to take this captain.
Come on.
Or this other officer. Alright, nice. He was high morale. He won't be soon. Alright, so that is that. That is Rao's company. Let's see how the enemy reacts to this. Nothing. Excellent. Alright, so I think if we move in over here, I might be able to get the drop on this squad. Okay, that's just an officer. Excellent. So we'll take him prisoner.
Come on, those bastards.
And that's not an objective taken. They're not in cover, which isn't ideal, but it's alright. And we'll take this Panzerschreck next.
Come on.
Alright. And that's effective concealment for all of these units here.
No sense going about it willy-nilly.
No sense going about it all william-nillium. Alright. Let's just make a quick pass through these buildings here. Looks clean. Very good. Alright, I'll leave 3rd Platoon's other squad ready to go in case something shows up over here. And then I think we'll just take the objectives with Thompson's squads, and that'll be that. Pretty good. Alright. Which distance is this squad? This squad can actually get all the way there. Thompson can get to here. So what I think I'll do is I'll send this squad into the objective. I'll send Thompson. Nah, he's too far away. We're just gonna take these other 2 squads. Well, this acting lieutenant, and then the squad that he's standing next to.
Shit.
Oh, they didn't do it. Interesting. Try it again. I've had pretty good luck on this, so, you know, it is what it is. I'm not, I ain't salty about it. And then these guys.
Come on.
Beautiful. That's the other unit. And there's probably one more captain spawned down there. And then finally, we'll take this squad, and we'll run to the remaining objective. A car's engine starts just as your men grenade their way into the vital intersection. Shots ring out, something explodes, and then silence. Better consolidate. Now, in the scenario, loyalty +1, mission draw result, men draw result. No, I have all the objectives. Weird. Gotta clear out the Germans. The Germans still hold a portion of the field. That won't do. You give the order to press the enemy, and the men reluctantly get back to work. Alright, that's weird. That's weird, because the scenario should be ending at this stage. What with my having achieved a full victory. It achieved all the victory conditions. Okay, here we go. With the whole of the city captured, the rest of the Germans flee or resign themselves to capture. It is, after all, a long walk back to Germany. They are out of here. The men major victory, the mission major victory. Achieve a major victory, at least a draw. Cool. That's probably just the one for this scenario. Excellent. Very light casualties. Area secured. I'm feeling pretty good. Hey! Lieutenant Dearborn had a minor wound and he's returning. And there are stragglers returning for a couple of other squads. Let's continue with the story.
we attacked one village, French village, and the Germans were moved out, and I was rummaging around in a house. What I was really trying to find was some chicory. Now, when I knew that the French were using chicory rather than coffee, they couldn't get it. And we were out of coffee, and I was trying to find in this house some chicory, which I didn't find.
Loot and chicory. At last, a moment to catch your breath. But only a moment. Major victory. Casualties less than 10% for the men. No indication of the mission, but I got a major victory as well. Grand Liberation. The men rush the center of town. Your tanks are behind them, guns blazing. The front of a banana-yellow Citroën has been smashed into the side of a white and green Opel. A dark Renault cargo truck with the German Iron Cross painted atop the door panels idles nearby, unable to drive past the accident. A stack of silverware lies spilt open on the cobblestones, leaving a spray of forks and spoons next to a tangle of dresses. Your men approach the Renault, their rifles at the ready. No Germans. One young private jumps into the back of the truck then emerges triumphant, his arms laden with illicit wine and cheese. The Boche gone, monsieur, Lucien says as he steps forward, that wine bottle still in hand. Yet another valuable denied to the Germans. Oui, la Londe, merci beaucoup, which means thank you very much. Even as he talks, French civilians, boys, girls, old men, and older women creep out of cellars and doorways. When they see your soldiers, their faces brighten. A collective cheer rises from the people of La Londe. The celebration begins at once. Thompson twirls about a bubbly young lady, their eyes bright with shared joy, and he's not the only one joining in. Rao stands off to one side, subdued and yet also vastly amused. Dearborn accepts a glass of champagne and sips with profound satisfaction. Stern speaks briefly with several older gentlemen and briefly shows them his dog tags. Captain, First Sergeant Grant says softly as the happy crowd grows, Lieutenant Colonel Ramsey wants us to keep moving. I'll buy us an hour, trust plus 20, combat fatigue minus 20, test cunning, low chance of prestige minus 2. We don't have specific orders yet. Trust plus 10, combat fatigue minus 10, test doctrine, high chance of prestige minus 2. Very well, rouse the men and assemble for march. Prestige plus 2, test discipline, even chance of trust minus 20. You know what? Combat fatigue minus 20 is pretty good. I'll risk losing a little prestige. I'm doing alright on prestige. I just got a major victory. I'll buy us an hour. Nice! To sweep the town. Yes, Captain, First Sergeant Grant replies. He passes along your orders. The squads of Nickel Company sweep the town alongside civilian guides. Guides who just happen to include a suspiciously high number of attractive young women with wine bottles. Naturally, Lieutenant Colonel Ramsey commends your vigorous actions to secure the area. Excellent! A sharp pop has you reaching for your carbine until you realize it is only Lucien uncorking a bottle of champagne. Behind him, the steadfastly focuses on pouring out a thin stream of French liberation. I'm not sure about that phrase. I'm not sure exactly what that was meant to mean. He offers the champagne to you. Capitaine, a toast to your victory in France. May it be the first of many. Oh, I am going to love France. They just got divorced from the Germans. The champagne is sweet. It just got divorced. Oh, I'm gonna love France. A Frenchwoman, thin but beaming, begins to sing La Marseillaise, and before long there is a chorus despite the ruin behind. Afterward, the Germans continue their retreat northward. 3rd Division pursues. Everything is simple in war, but the simplest thing is difficult. Alright. So we're doing pretty okay here. I got a few casualties in these divisions, but I got plenty of prestige and plenty of replacements. So I'm feeling pretty alright. I'm going to throw experience replacements into a lot of these units because I want to keep their experience up. That's just good sense. We are doing really well experience-wise. Can't quite get this squad over the line, but that's alright. I can get rid of this stress for 2 loyalty, which I am going to do. And yeah, we're bringing in a lot of real solid replacements. Battalion's treating us good this time. And we just spent 10 replacements and 30 prestige. But you know, it was worth it. That was my entire supply. I took more casualties here than I could have. I'm not going to necessarily say should have, but like I could have done this one a little better. Like overall, I was pretty sloppy in the South. I still got my double major victory, which I'm very pleased with, but I was a little sloppy in the South. I didn't need to be. All right, so I think that is. We're gonna hold on to the rest of this prestige because I went a little replacement, or a little buck wild with replacements this time. I love having these high experience squads, but it takes a lot of prestige to sustain them. So yeah, so we'll call that a men aided. Still got a lot of combat fatigue in here. But it is what it is. No way around it. That's the way. That's what happens in war. All right, let's go ahead and continue our journey. Tanks rarely reveal hidden units that aren't shooting at them. Yeah, it's hard to see anything when you're a tank. Armor blocks line of sight. That's part of why I don't tend to send tanks forward by themselves. Montelimar, France. 24th August 1944. Not sure what the date of the last one is, so I think we're about a week later now. Okay, a situation. But first, storytelling.
While the troops pushed on, the enemy was kept off balance with our artillery fire. The enemy was becoming disorganized. Armored and infantry elements continued the advance north. Their job was clear-cut, but not easy, to stop a German withdrawal through the Montelimar gap.
Cool. 29th August. Okay, 29th August, 1944. North of Montelimar, France. I'm just copying down the date, because I got a different day in my head.
Finally, we were moving fast. When the trucks broke down, we trotted forward to get ahead of the Germans.
The entire regiment has been on the move for days. So have the Germans. Caught between Patton in the north and General Patch in the south, the Germans have fled along the Rhone Valley, and it's the Cottonbalers' job to cut off any escape. You've already passed dozens of civilian cars this morning, their gas tanks empty and trunks full. Crosley was a little mortified by racy women's silk underwear that Morris discovered in her discarded suitcase. Apparently many of the German officers have taken their mistresses along. It's a fine day with clear skies. The distant drone of airplanes, all American, have been keeping you company for miles. First platoon scouts pick their way forward steadily. As they crest the next hill, they suddenly go to ground. Lieutenant Thompson waves you up frantically. He gets excited about a lot of things, but he isn't stupid. You think we reached the highway? First Sergeant Grant asks as he hurries along beside you. Hope we're near our objective. Maybe they found something else. +1 verbosity. Keep moving, -1 verbosity. You know I'm always going with the most verbose answer. Maybe they found something else. Captain, I wouldn't mind it being nothing for a change. God, what a mood. I wouldn't mind it being nothing for a change, First Sergeant Grant says. Verbosity +1. You scurry up to the summit. Montelimar lies to the south. To the north is Lyon, and to the west ought to be Highway A7. Your men take turns at the crest, but only for a few moments each, and never from the same spot twice. We're in deep, Thompson says, and points westward beyond the crest. You peer out on the valley below. The highway is there as expected, but there's also a railway line running along the valley floor. What is waiting down there makes your blood freeze. Is it Panzer Grenadiers? Because it sure looks like Panzer Grenadiers from this image.
That's a lot of Germans.
Image courtesy of the Bundesarchiv. Germans, thousands of them. They're all crowded into a massive column that fills the highway for miles. Horse carts, panzers, and civilian cars. On the railway track, a train idly chuffs along, hauling two 280mm siege guns. Anzio Annie's twin sisters. Damn, that's a big gun. Fuck. Just drive north, they said. It'll be fine, they said. Someone is out to get me. Gotta go with the middle one. Maximum sarcasm answer. You and Grant glance at the map. Yep, you're in the right place. The sudden whine of a two-stroke engine echoes through the valley as a German motorcycle takes off from cover just down the way and heads straight for the column as if the hounds of hell were after him. Yep, that crowd's seen you. Cat's out of the bag, Captain, First Sergeant Grant says. They'll be coming for us. Corporal Sobieski unpacks the radio nearby. The forward observer limps over to take a weary seat beside him. The loss of his jeep was unfortunate, but the man has marched with you with his book of day codes in hand. And right now some artillery fire would be good to have. In the distance, the enemy motorcycle speeds down a single dirt track toward the long column of enemy vehicles with its warning. The mission: destroy the enemy, inflict heavy casualties, take no more than moderate casualties. The men suffer no more than moderate casualties. Okay. Alright. Withdraw disabled. Consider preserving your men. Okay. Alright, so we got a lot of tanks over here. Well, we got a lot of vehicles over here. This one's a supply truck. This one's a Kugelwagen, which I assume just means like a car. This one is... It's like Sonderkraft Fahrzeug or something like that. It's... I'm not sure. And this is the situation. That said, they're all in a column. If I stay hidden and don't get stupid, I might be able to... I don't know what the situation is going to end up being over here. Let's zoom out. I don't have any objectives, so I guess the answer is we're just kind of dealing damage to the enemy. So where's Stern? Stern's over here. Let me see. I got my usual mortars. Do I have any additional support? I do not. Okay. That said, like, this is the sort of situation that could be a turkey shoot, but it's hard to know. Like, if these are all tanks, then this could be a giant problem. Alright, first things first. What do the sight lines look like? The sight lines are pretty frickin' open, so I need to be conscientious here. Of course my machine gun's not in good position. Why would my machine gun be in a good position? Well, this one's in an alright position, but it's not covering the northern road. And what have I got? I got a 50 back here that, of course, can't see jack all. I got a bazooka here that has the capacity to be covering this road, but isn't at present. Do I have any other bazookas? I have one over here in Rao's platoon. Alright, so this is going to be interesting. This squad's got good coverage. There's a squad dark red when I mouse over them. That's curious. Same thing over here. Not that one, though. With that having been said, I usually when I do the end of a scenario, I usually do the interactive fiction section, and then I call it, and I start the next scenario afterwards. So this might end up being... This feels like it's been a short episode. According to my count, it hasn't been that short, but, you know, we've had plenty of really long episodes, so it's not really... This isn't extreme. So... I am actually going to cut it here, and then we'll get started at the beginning of the Battle of Montelimar next episode. Yeah, it's been smooth sailing up for our first battle in France. So we'll see how things go with this one. For now, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.